Light Through Dragon's Fire, Book 1, A World on the Brink, a destiny waiting to be claimed, a fire that refuses to be tamed. Step into the first pulse-pounding moments of Flight Through Dragon's Fire, a fantasy adventure where steel clashes, legends awake, and the flames of war burn ever closer. This isn't just a story, it's a call for adventure. This is E.L. Mar, and I am bringing you the electrifying opening of Book 1 of Flight Through Dragon's Fire. Where heroes are tested, danger lurks in the shadows, and the journey of a lifetime begins. If you crave epic battles, fierce magic, and a story that grips you from the first breath, you are in the right place. Hit that follow button, step into the fire, and let the legend begin.
Flight Through Dragonfire. Lost Chronicles from Circle of Stones, A Heroine's Odyssey by E.L. Mar. Book 1, Chrissy's Prologue. PNW Mountain Road, near the Canadian border. Day 0. Late evening. The moon dangles low in the night sky, casting a pale glow on the winding mountain road. The scent of pine trees and adventure fills the warm air during this tranquil darkness. Headlights pierce through the shadows, revealing the rugged terrain and the twists and turns that lay ahead. A bright yellow VW Bug, adorned with bold black racing stripes, forges its way up the bumpy mountain road. Inside the car, a friendly and energetic young man named Mikey grips the steering wheel excitedly. His enthusiasm for this midnight journey seems better suited for the sunny beaches of California than the misty Pacific Northwest. As the engine roars and the tires grip the uneven road, the duo continues their exhilarating ascent, ready to conquer whatever challenges cross their path. The wind howls through the open windows, whipping Mikey's shaggy hair around his face. He can't help but let out a joyful laugh, feeling alive and invincible at that moment. As they cruise along the open road, the atmosphere inside the car fills with the energizing sounds of rock music playing softly in the background. The beats and guitar riffs set the tone for their journey, adding an extra layer of excitement. Mikey and his passenger, Chrissy, engage in friendly banter, their conversation weaving seamlessly between laughter and shared memories. They playfully tease each other, dishing out inside jokes and reminiscing about the antics of their friendship. The music provides a perfect backdrop to their light-hearted exchanges, amplifying the carefree spirit of the moment. Their laughter harmonizes with the rhythm of the music, creating a composition of friendship that echoes throughout the car. Mikey glances over at Chrissy, admiration flickering behind his usual sarcastic grin as they navigate the winding mountain road. So, remind me again, Jensen, why sweatpants and hoodies while you're racking up these wins? You'd think you'd be out flaunting a trophy or something shiny. Chrissy rolls her eyes, leaning back in her seat and propping her feet up on the dashboard, a relaxed shrug settling into her posture. Why flaunt? I'm good with just being comfortable, not here to impress anyone. He laughs, nudging her shoulder playfully as they hit a particularly sharp turn. Right, you're more the dark sweatpants mysterious warrior type, I forgot. That blonde ponytail and hoodie scream, dangerous guardian. Exactly, she replies, a smirk tugging at her lips. Keeps people guessing. Plus, you'd be surprised how practical it is. She gestures to her running shoes, the scuffed soles evidence of countless hours spent training. Besides, I'm too busy training for anything else. Mikey nods, a spark of genuine curiosity igniting in his eyes as he adjusts the rearview mirror. Is that all it's about, training? Or is this some undercover superhero thing you're not telling me? Yeah, maybe, she teases, her tone playful. If superheroes had bruises, they didn't hide very well and told everyone it was from gymnastics or parkour. Uh-huh, Mikey says, raising an eyebrow. Must be some serious parkour if you're earning bruises that bad. Honestly, though, what got you started? This whole fighting thing? Chrissy's expression softens, her voice quieting as the mist rolls through the trees. There was this show when I was little about a blonde monster hunter. She took on the worst villains and won every time. She shrugs, her fingers tapping softly on her knee. Something about it made me want to do the same, protect people, even if I'm not exactly magical. Mikey leans back, nodding slowly as he contemplates her words. So that's your thing, from cartoons to underground MMA. Pretty cool. It wasn't a cartoon, Chrissy snaps back. Sorry. Mikey counters, his voice dripping with sarcasm. Chrissy drums her fingers on her knee, her gaze drifting out the window at the misty road stretching ahead, where shadows of towering pines loom. I still can't believe your dad took me on. Most people were ready to tell me to quit after, what, my 5th loss? Mikey chuckles, spinning the steering wheel as they round another bend, the tires gripping the pavement. He's not like most people, obviously. He's always been a bit unconventional. She smirks, shaking her head. You're saying that like I didn't figure it out after sparring with your brothers and getting tossed around by a bow staff. Hey, Don doesn't hold back for anyone, Mikey replies, shooting her a glance. And you kind of need that. Besides, I've seen you with those nunchaku. You're just as fierce. That's mostly thanks to the bruises I got from you, she teases, rolling her shoulder where a faint reminder of their last training session lingers, a dull ache that brings a smile to her face. But honestly, it's weird. Your dad focuses on more than just fighting, you know? Yeah, Mikey nods, his voice turning serious, the playful tone slipping away. That's my dad. It's all about the mind and strategy with him. It's why he starts with mindfulness training before he teaches you any weaponry. Chrissy shrugs, her brow furrowing slightly as she thinks back. I didn't get it at first, but being able to focus, like actually focus, that's different. I used to get distracted mid-fight, thinking too much about what I'd do next. That's the whole point, Mikey replies, his tone earnest. He's making sure you stay in the moment so you don't overthink. You'd be surprised how many people get knocked out because their heads aren't fully in the fight. She laughs, the sound bright against the backdrop of the engine's hum. Tell me about it. After facing Leo's katana, I know what that feels like. Mikey gives her a lopsided grin, his confidence radiating as they pass through a tunnel of trees. Yeah, C's thrown you to the wolves with us, but you've been holding your own. I had no choice, Chrissy replies, her smile widening, excitement bubbling in her chest. Especially after that night I met your dad. I was about ready to quit until he asks if I'm prepared for the next fight. That's him, Mikey says with a nod, a hint of admiration in his voice. He won't tell you to stop, only to go forward. And somehow, I finally start winning. Chrissy's voice holds a mix of disbelief and triumph, a testament to her journey. No kidding, you're doing great. You're way better with a short sword and shield than me and my brothers, Mikey remarks, a hint of admiration in his voice. Chrissy grins and, using hand quotes, echoes sigh. If you're only using your shield for defense, you're only using half your shield. Mikey joins in, mimicking her gestures, and they share a laugh. What I don't get is why the hell he's making me learn archery and calligraphy in the old style with an inkwell and quill. Chrissy grumbles, crossing her arms in frustration. Mikey chuckles. At least you don't look like you came from Africa when you're writing that way. Chrissy bursts out laughing. Seriously, you were African-Japanese. That explains why you guys are banned from the art room. Me, my bros, and dad were covered in ink for a whole month, Mikey laughs, recalling the messy memories. Mikey, stop! Chrissy suddenly yells, causing him to slam on the brakes. What? A deer? A moose? A bear? Mikey glances around, scanning for any wildlife that might cross their path. No, you just drove past my stop, Chrissy smirks. But please watch out for them too. Mikey quickly flips the bug around and heads for the turnoff. Why did you take down the skeleton family? That's how I knew it was your stop, he grumbles, noticing the absence of the yard decor. Because Dad didn't like it, Chrissy replies, rolling her eyes. He said Halloween was over 6 months ago. The VW bug halts, sending up bits of gravel in front of an ancient weathered wooden fence alongside a driveway too rough for the bug to navigate. Well, here we are, Dudette. Sorry, we can't drive all the way up, Mikey declares with a mischievous grin. Thanks for the ride, Mikey. No problem. My dad's 4x4 even has trouble getting up this drive some days, Chrissy replies as she grabs her gear and gets out. No problem, Chrissy. You really held your ground in that fight. It's like you're climbing up the ranks with me and my bros. And I gotta give you props for helping with the prank on Ralphie. Your distraction was perfect. He never saw it coming. It's been years since I managed to get him like that. Mikey chuckles, tasseling his messy, sun-kissed hair. She leans back comfortably against the yellow VW bug's window, careful not to disturb the windsurfing board strapped securely on top. You know, When he figures out it was you, he's going to beat you into a pulp, Chrissy teases, a playful glint sparking in her eyes. So worth it, though, Mikey chuckles, shaking his head in amusement. You take care. Hey, are you sure your parents won't figure out what you've been up to? He asks over the rock music blaring from his speakers. My mom worries about me, but she won't say anything as long as she sees that I'm doing better, Chrissy replies, a hint of pride in her voice. And since C scares the hell out of my dad if he says anything, your dad will definitely have another talk with him, she adds with a sly grin. What did your dad do to piss off my dad? I've never seen him lose his cool before, Mikey asks, genuinely curious. Chrissy's smile softens as she remembers the incident. I might tell you someday, but for now, don't worry, it won't happen again, she reassures him, her voice filled with affectionate reassurance. Well, if that's the case, you want to come down to the river with me and my bros tomorrow? Mikey suggests, his eyes full of excitement. I would love to, but my parents are going to some company function, and I have to watch my little brother, Chrissy responds, a hint of disappointment in her voice. Say, do you know when your brother will update his game? That one is so cool, Mikey eagerly pleads, his enthusiasm shining through. No, but I know he's been working really hard on it, Chrissy reveals, her tone becoming conspiratorial. You want a hint? She teases, a mischievous spark in her eyes. Yes, Mikey eagerly demands, leaning closer to hear the secret. The bad guy isn't who you think it is, Chrissy whispers with a playful laugh. Oh, you wound me. You really like the present I got you for winning your last fight? Mikey dramatically says, throwing his head back and slapping his chest with his hands as though someone is stabbing him. Yeah, the throwing stars are awesome, Chrissy smiles. And Ralph thought you wouldn't like them because you're a girl and want girl stuff. Mikey snorts a laugh. I am weird. I like both, Chrissy smirks and shrugs. Mikey's tone shifts to serious as he offers, You know, I could walk you up. It's all good, Mikey. I think I can handle a little hike up the driveway. Besides, you need to get back. Just watch out for the furry friends, Chrissy replies, her smile playful. Hey, I'm not Raph, who took out 2 turkeys when he brought you home, Mikey smirks. I heard he was still picking feathers out of his grill weeks later. Or were you shoving more in? Chrissy laughs, shaking her head at the memory. Mikey pretends to zip his lips shut, a mock look of secrecy on his face. Tell your dad I'll be a little late for training tomorrow. I've got to run an errand, Chrissy says, starting to turn toward her driveway. Ooh, a date? Mikey teases, raising an eyebrow with a grin. Chrissy flips him the single-finger salute with her left hand, then starts to walk away down the half-mile drive. Mikey can't help but laugh, watching her until she's out of sight. His heart feels lighter from their shared banter and connection. Satisfied, he turns the car back toward town. Chrissy continues sneaking home from her most recent fight beneath the moonlit canopy of the Pacific Northwest's dense wilderness. The rustic cabin, nestled deep in the untamed landscape's heart, serves as her sanctuary and the keeper of secrets that elude her unsuspecting parents. The moon's gentle glow improves her stealthy approach, casting a silvery hue upon towering trees that silently witness Chrissy's nightly escapades. Each step, deliberate and clandestine, weaves a narrative of rebellion against the tranquil backdrop of the dark forest. Returning from an adrenaline-charged night, Chrissy's footsteps echo through the dense woods, shifting from deep pine needles to packed earth. Each step brings her closer to her parents, still unaware of her secret life. The cabin, nestled within the vast wilderness near the Canadian border, straddles 2 contrasting worlds, one of apparent familial normalcy and the other of hidden intensity. The night resonates with the haunting calls of a great horned owl, its deep hoots echoing through the trees. In the nocturnal soundscape, raccoons chitter in the shadows, adding to the mysterious atmosphere. The air fills with the energetic chatter of eastern grey squirrels leaping from branch to branch, their bushy tails flicking in the moonlit shadows. Their high-pitched calls and quick movements heighten the lively ambience of the forest. The rustling of leaves underfoot hints at the presence of creatures like rabbits and voles. At the same time, the occasional snap of twigs suggests larger animals moving in the shadows, perhaps a fox or a cautious deer. Unfazed, Chrissy smiles in the direction of each sound she hears. Even the far-off howl of a wolf doesn't faze her as it once did, though she quickens her pace. Approaching the cabin, she perceives it as a silent observer amidst the diverse inhabitants of the land. The air fills with the earthy scent of pine, mingling with the fragrance of moss and damp soil. The woodsy aroma of mushrooms and the subtle hint of decaying trees add to the forest's natural perfume. As Chrissy continues her journey, she catches whiffs of musk and fur, evidence of unseen animals. The freshness of dew and the crisp, clean quality of nighttime air enhance the immersive experience. The cabin, with its windows reflecting the moonlight, seems to invite Chrissy into its shelter. Little do her parents know that the duality of the worlds outside and within will soon unravel within the wooden embrace of the cabin. Believing her parents are more than likely sleeping, Chrissy sneaks around the side and makes for her bedroom window. Her father thinks she would have a hard time sneaking out at night, with it being on the second floor. But with her parkour skills, it's just a quick run, a leap up onto the 3 different rocks, then a kick off the red fur, and she's on the roof, just outside her room. Chrissy skillfully slips through her bedroom window, the natural symphony supporting her stealthy approach. As she starts to take off her pack, an eerie stillness replaces the familiar wildlife sounds, and a palpable tension grips her. Chrissy, a seasoned fighter from countless battles, feels unprepared for the overwhelming assault on her senses when she cracks open her bedroom door. The pungent aroma of freshly spilled blood hits her with the force of a battering ram, causing an involuntary recoil. The metallic tang hung heavily in the air, mingling with the coppery scent that assaulted her nostrils. It was a scent she had encountered in the ring, but this was different, more visceral and personal. The familiarity of the scent, paired with the element of surprise, momentarily stuns her. Chrissy's heightened senses, honed through relentless training, now betray her as she grapples with the reality of her parents' peril. The adrenaline that fuels her victories in the ring now surges with a different urgency, propelling her into a world of fear and uncertainty. Her heart races as she hears Tommy crying. Forgetting to take off her backpack, she creeps to the bedroom door and gently eases it open. Peeking through the cracked door down the stairs, she is horrified to see her father bloodied and bound to a chair. Oddly, the sight fails to stir much sympathy, for she harbours a deep-seated resentment toward him, wishing for a fate more severe than the current predicament. What truly roots her to the spot is the bloody, naked, lifeless form of her mother sprawled on the floor, a chilling testament to the brutality they have endured. The room is permeated by the ominous presence of a crazed assailant, poised to unleash further chaos and threaten her father's life. Chrissy grapples with a torrent of emotions, a maelstrom of shock, anger, and an urgency to confront the impending danger within the cabin's confines. At first glance, the assailant stands between 5'9" and 6'1", with an average build and a disheveled appearance that hints at neglect. Everything about him screams danger, from his filthy dark hair to the beard interwoven with non-intentional dreads. He wears a tattered flannel shirt, frayed at the edges, and faded cargo pants that hang loosely from his hips. His overall demeanor exudes an unsettling madness, accentuated by his rugged look. Features marked by an eerie calmness belie the insanity lurking within, highlighted by a crazed glare aimed at her father. As Chrissy continues to peek through the door and down the stairway, she almost swears the crazed killer's bloodshot eyes glow with a frenzied intensity, a sickly hue of crimson reflecting the madness within. His wild, unkempt hair, midnight in color, further accentuates the disarray of his appearance, creating an eerie contrast against the pale canvas of his deranged countenance. His wiry frame twists with the tension of relentless pursuit. Chrissy can hear him taunting her father in a cool, unfeeling voice as he casually sips up his pants. "I savored the taste of your wife," he says with a chilling calmness, a twisted smile creeping across his face. "And you know, I think I'll have the boy next." His gaze sharpens, and he leans closer, demanding, "Now tell me where your daughter is." "There's money and stocks in my safe. You can have them," Matthew pleads, trying to reason with the crazed man. "Just leave my kids alone." The psycho killer's eyes gleam with a manic intensity as he leans closer. You always thought you were better than everyone else. You really don't think I didn't know about that? He pauses, a chilling smile creeping across his face. But that's not what I want. What do you want? I'll get it for you if it's within my power, Matthew stammers, desperation edging his voice. Power? Ha! The killer laughs, a low, twisted sound. You'll witness the true power of the demon that speaks to me. It demands I take your child, and I will obey its every command. His voice grows more agitated, each word dripping with a disturbing fervor, revealing a genuine belief in the dark forces that guide him. Matthew sees the madness in his eyes and knows this is no ordinary killer. This is a man consumed by a dark and twisted obsession, driven by a demonic force he believes will grant him ultimate power. The killer's actions escalate into erratic violence as he carries out his twisted plan, his eyes rolling back into his head as he speaks in tongues. Matthew can only watch in horror as the killer's grip on reality slips further away, leaving a trail of blood and destruction in his wake. As the killer lifts Tommy once more, Matthew sees the demonic energy emanating from him, a dark and malevolent force threatening to consume them all. They are dealing with something far beyond human comprehension, and he prays they find a way to stop it before it's too late. In a swift...
And then the blade was raised. The moment hangs breathless. Will Christy reach him in time, or is she already too late? The answer lies within the pages of Flight Through Dragon's Fire. Until next time, stay sharp, stay ready, and never underestimate the shadows.